Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jackie, and I am forever faithful. Hope you all are well today, and thank you so much for joining me on my channel. Um, I just wanted to, touch base with you all and just talk about spiritual warfare and understanding it, understanding yourself in the process of this warfare. And what I've come to know, as I probably mentioned before in a prior video, is that we're constantly in a spiritual war from the time that we were born, whether we realize it or not. And most people don't even realize that they are actually in a war with spirits until they've had many experiences that they can't quite explain happening to them. For me personally, I am aware now that as it was happening to me when I was attacked harshly for several years, I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. I couldn't explain it. Even some doctors couldn't even give me an explanation for some of the things I was experiencing physically. So I just wanted to touch base on this just for a moment because I just sense that that the spiritual attacks have increased and they are more intense. And when I think about the subject of spiritual warfare, it is so deep and so broad that it would be almost impossible for me to even cover everything in one short video. So I'm just going to pretty much summarize what I know and what I personally went through and what I've learned from it. Now, when it comes to spiritual warfare, I am aware that it really does start in the mind because these certain thoughts, negative thoughts, sadness, fear, doubt, are some of the things that leaves an open door for negative demonic energies to come in and play in your head and keep you. The ultimate goal is to keep you from what the divine source, God, has for you, right? To keep you off your mission. That's the goal, is to keep you from what God already has planned for you. So it starts with the mind. It will, these negative demonic energies will often have you replay certain situations in your head like it's on a loop, where you find yourself becoming upset, angry, frustrated, whatever the feelings you were feeling at the time of the experience. It's like you're reliving that all over again. Also, understand that in order to truly begin to understand spiritual warfare, you really have to know yourself, or at least start the process of knowing yourself. That means unraveling all the things, your belief systems, basically. Because I believe we all humans have belief systems, and they're limited beliefs because of what we've been told growing up, and now we believe these things, right? So we have to take a closer look at ourselves and what is naturally us and what isn't naturally, right? What isn't natural to us, to our spirit, to our soul. So that means if I find myself angry or confrontational most of the time with many people, then I know that truly deep down inside, I being a child of the divine creator, that I am truly love, kindness, compassionate, right? But if I'm confrontational with others, then I know that's not of me. But I have to dig deeper to understand why I continue to have these confrontations with others. I have to look deeper in where did this come from? Did this start in childhood? Was I growing up in an environment where I witnessed this, I experienced this through others? right? So it's like digging deeper. It's like pulling off the layers so you can find the true you. So, your mental stability plays a huge part in this, as well as the physical challenges that comes with this. And oftentimes, even for myself, as I mentioned before, I've had loss of memory, headaches. Sometimes I've heard, not me personally, but I've heard people having stomach aches to the point where they're in a fetal position, but go to the doctor and the doctor couldn't find anything. A lot of times you may have some type of physical ailment and go to a doctor, but they can't find anything. So you want to take a closer look at, the spiritual aspect of these physical health issues. I'm aware of some people limbs just don't work properly or in pain, their joints. I know of a few people who have loss of appetite. I personally have experienced low energy, like lack of motivation at all. Like I wake up, I don't want to do anything, I go to bed, and that's it, right? I just don't want to do anything or just doing the bare minimum. And even times where you find yourself, you may pull back from others because you don't even want to talk, right? So it will sometimes have you to withdraw from people, and it can be anybody. And especially sometimes those people who will pour goodness into you, to support you, to help you out, to be your cheerleader. But you probably wouldn't even want to talk to them because you really don't want to hear it. But it's not necessarily you, as a child of God, don't want to hear it. It's the demonic spirits don't want you to hear anything good that will support you and uplift you and get you out of that dark space. Okay? I also know even in the spiritually there's challenges because I've had demonic forces to show up in my dreams, to show themselves as they really are, with the horns and the ugly face and the warts and all, right? I've also experienced these things where I'm in a dream state, but I know it's not my dream. I have also experienced it. If a demon doesn't show you itself the way that it really is, it could actually use someone that you know personally. You would think it's this person. Let's say you had a grandmother pass, she's on the other side. The demon will look like her and tell you something or show you something that is untrue. But because you knew this grandmother when she was alive, you just assume that's her coming through. But that's the thing with spiritual warfare. These dark energies will do and use anything and anyone to get to you, period. And it doesn't matter if you're living here on earth or you're in heaven in the spirit realm somewhere. You have to be careful. That's why I said this whole topic is really deep. It's really deep. There's so many, many, many layers to this. But ultimately, you have to go through the process of elimination, meaning what is truly me, naturally me, and what is not of me. Okay? That's where you really have to start. Okay? And I'm telling you, demons will use anything and anyone to harm you, physically, mentally, or spiritually. So even the people that you love the most could be used by these demonic energies as well. Now, the thing is, these energies, for me personally, have tried to take my life on several occasions. And I just remember one time I fell asleep on the couch. I had a tea light in the kitchen on the counter. And I just happened, I think God's Spirit woke me up right before my kitchen was about to catch fire. And that was an attack. it was literally trying to burn me inside my home. Luckily, I did see it and I put it out. But also, there's so many things, truly so many things. Like, for example, I love white candles, and particularly white candles, and I have them all around. And I recall lighting these candles, and there will always be this black soot. I mean, really black soot around the the glass container that the candle was in. And I never understood it. It was like, this is odd. Why so much black soot? When I'm burning my candle, it hasn't always done that. But later on, I found out that that was demonic energy that someone had sent, was doing some spell work. Okay, like I said, this topic is very, very deep, and it's so much to it that I know I'm not going to be able to cover but a tiny little bit of it. But understand that we are currently in a very tense spiritual warfare, and it's so important for us to get to know ourselves and get to know the good sides of ourselves, and the dark sides of ourselves. That goes with the shadow work. You know, why are you having addiction, or why are you continuously doubting yourself, or why do you continue to allow certain people into your life that doesn't bring you peace? All these things matter. They really do. Because at this point, even in my life, I don't trust anyone but myself. And as much as I love my best friend, and she has truly been a ride or die for over 20 years, I have learned through experience not to give a person 100% of my trust, because I am aware that demonic energies can use them to cause harm to me. So it goes back to knowing yourself, understanding yourself, knowing what's you, what's not of you, and building on that to become stronger. Now, one thing I can say is that if you are not sure what's going on in your life and you can't make sense of it all, that call on divine presence, whether it be your ancestors that have passed over that you knew on this earth, that were kind and loving people. As I don't suggest calling on all your ancestors, because let's be real, not all of them had good energy. Call on your higher self, call on the divine presence for help, for clarity, and it will be given to you as long as you keep your mind still and quiet enough to receive the answers. I just wanted to share this with you because this is serious. It's no joke. I'm not here to instill fear, but to give knowledge. That's it. And whatever you do with this information is on you. I personally like Psalms 91 as a prayer of protection. It has worked well for me over the years. So if any of you are looking for a prayer of protection, Psalms 91 is a really good one, very powerful. Okay, in the meantime, go ahead and do the dirty work. Go ahead and do the shadow work. Go ahead and look at yourself as I am looking at myself. Why do I have certain beliefs? Why do I think a certain way? Why do I do things a certain way? What are those things rooted in? Where do they come from? Because as long as we continue to deny or hide or discard these negative traits, parts of ourselves, we're doing ourselves a disservice, really. So the sooner that we tackle these issues, the sooner we can close those doors to the demonic. And I really like a lot of quotes. And it's kind of like, I love this: unless you learn to face your own shadows, you will continue to see them in others, because the world outside is only a reflection of the world inside of you. So whatever's going on in the world, it is only a reflection of what's going on inside of you, inside of us as individuals. So we have to take a closer look. No, it's not an easy job or a pretty job, but it's not even a hard job either. You just have to be committed to do the work. And the sooner you close those doors, the sooner you can move on, move forward, and manifest things that you really want to have into your lives, okay? Anyway, that's all I have to share for the moment. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am forever faithful. So until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.